Hi, it's Miles Red Songbird, Miles Red Bird Song, Eve Evangeline Einstein in New York City. You're looking at pictures from the scrapbook of my life. Should I go into, most of these I introduced you in part one, but I did introduce the members of the writing group. I told you it was the most important group in St. Francis of Assisi, Residence 3. This is Eddie Milton Harris, who was John Milton, who was my father in a previous life, who was the writer Homer, who wrote the Iliad and the Odyssey, who affected Greek culture tremendously. This is Raphael Maldonado, who was a painter, Raphael, and also Charlton Heston. This is a coal miner, Andre, who is Jamaican Dominican, who loves Henry Ford because he loves his car, a Ford Maverick, and I was Henry Ford, therefore he and I have a loving relationship together. This is Orlando Rodriguez, my son in a previous life. He and I also have a loving relationship together. He was Orville Wright, the brother of Wilbur Wright, who was my son sing birdsong in this life. This is Carlos Castaneda. This is Carlos Castaneda. He was an author and genius Russian painter. This is Raoul, who would make a good partner for, what's her name? I want to call her Serena, but Serena's the girl that gave me the red coat. This is Velma. Velma and Raoul. Where's Raoul? I got a better picture of how Raoul would make a good couple. I was also Cupid. Alright, let me get started. Daddy. He made me feel desirable. She, Mommy, made me feel unwanted. This is my personal experience. Your mother made you feel wanted. That's good. And your daddy made you feel undesirable. That's fine. I'm writing about myself. Okay? This is Eve. This is Minnow. Daddy made me feel desirable. Mama made me feel unwanted. Daddy took me to the finest restaurants. Of course, I met Daddy when I was in my 20s. Okay? He took me to the finest restaurants. Mama was almost never appeared with me in public, except when I was awarded Girl Scout Merit Badge, Talk and Share. As Scout, my being fearless and strong and real enough to talk to the mob enlightened them to the Einstein, to their bad behavior. I was Einstein, EI, there it is, Einstein. Enlighten them to their bad behavior. I was a little girl in that form named Scout, because the men were able to see themselves through the eyes of the honest child, Scout, in the movie To Kill a Mockingbird. Just as the child spoke the truth of what she saw, the king has no clothes on, and broke the spell of authority. The people started seeing the king through the clear-eyed, unbiased, non-programmed child who knew no fear, didn't know she was supposed to care if she was being judged by her peer. The writing group, where people felt so bad about themselves, they felt everybody was above them, so anything said they accepted as pure truth, led Eve, me, to develop confidence once again. I'm telling the truth as I did before I lost my inner sense of in her is good sense. Her inner sense, the inner sense in her is good sense. Neither is good sense. What does that mean, neither? Breather is good sense. Breed her to have good sense is to let her be herself, her innocence. Her innocence she's born with. So if you let her be herself, she will, in her will be and manifestly good sense. It's something like I wrote, when a newborn baby is born, the world gets one more chance. His mom is his champion, his daddy, his reality. His faith stays with those who deserve his faith as he grows, as he knows. Okay. So that's true. And that's from the album What It Is, Edwin Birdsong. So Maria Cott, the teacher, became unfit to go on teaching the class when her religious beliefs made her call me, her sister, made her call me, her sister, her student, a liar. But Maria's an ass, a butt, denying my point of view as possibly being true. My I be Einstein's mind. Okay, so Maria was arguing with Einstein's mind. The next class was taught by the art teacher Sheila, who had been the conductor Leonard Bernstein. He wrote the smash hit West Side Story. Michael John Spear, my husband and great master of India, was deeply moved by that urban setting musical. Amuse us, U.S., and this is Adam and Eve. Eve was expected to amuse Adam, and Eve was the mother of the earth, is expected to anonymously amuse the U.S. I see California has lost its usefulness as a leader. Its ego has caused it to stop listening to those who are more experienced. They keep following the mold of Disney. Behold, be bold, and create your own story, even calling real the fantasy. Real, filming the fantasy as real. Keeping appeal because of publicity. Keeping actors attended on, even off-screen, and keeping Eve invisible on and off-screen. So the real Mother Earth, the one with the same love in her heart that as sympathy prompted her to leave Sun God and follow the current sounds of plea for help coming from all around because everybody's drowning out each other's sounds of, listen, help me, hey, gimme, I'm due, pay attention to me, or I'll kill you, or sneer, or smear, or weird you out, give you such a fright of, you don't do as I say do. I'd give you a fright if you don't do as I say do. Eve, as Robert Frost, took the road less traveled than Faust and the road to perdition. That's the road to hell. She rode the train of try not to assign blame until you're no longer lame. Have felt and owned your own worn-out pains and are safe in naming others' shameful behavior to save the integrity of the consciousness wing of heaven's door to earned fortune and fame. Without sympathy with sacrifices aplenty, sparkle plenty, Eve's eyes matching. The sunshine, she and Gorinda sing, and sing bird song, robin bird song, Melanie Spear, Martin Luther King, Lou Ranziger, Mr. Rogers, Seth Wynn Ranziger, Ostara Gloria, the newest newborn to give the world another chance. Almost time for Jesus Christ and his clones to advance and take a stance for the heavenly victory. We are heaven on earth, out of deep freeze. All aggrieved have been paid, and no more slaves, just volunteers. Okay, wipe your tears. Okay, erase your fears. Put yourself in gears. For driving to the success piers. Piers. Okay, it's my red songbird. I could rhyme all day. I'm going to stop rhyming for now. And, yeah, how much? Oh, I can go on. I have more time. Okay. Okay, her style, Platts. Oh, didn't I say this already? Yeah, I did this. Oh, this is where I left off in volume 1, part 1. 3 weeks after I met my present, me-extra sensory perception of this and other lives, Jesus Christ said, I have come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. Now that could be the same thing could be said for the sex act. The man comes, and if the egg and the sperm unite, she'll have life more abundantly because she'll have new life inside her womb. See, so it's the same thing. And okay, let me read it again. Jesus Christ said, I have come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. Now he was talking to his wife, Mary, who is now pregnant with the baby he left in her. Making love with her with his eyes. He didn't touch her physically. It's an immaculate conception. The miracle that everybody's been waiting for. So he says, in more ways, he has come that you might have life and have it more abundantly in more ways than one. She has twins. And then this says what? THAN, than the A to Z. Okay, A to Z. Jesus Christ came to near completion, completion, the immaculate conception of Jesus Christ, his master's rebirth. Charan Singh is in my womb. That's Gorinda Singh's master. He looked into her love side. CID energy. CID energy. See eyes. Divine energy of the Pharaoh seed. Phi, air energy owed to her by events on the horizon, are owed such a big debt it's unfathomable. It's saying that the world owes the Michelle Birdsong an unfathomable amount of reward of treasure. A Michelle Birdsong and a Michael Bublé. This is Eve, and this is Adam. So they're owed a wedding day has to come. But, asshole, Bublé keeps singing, I just haven't met you yet. He's known her since the beginning of time, right? But he hasn't seen her in person, that's what he's saying. The snake is no longer on her belly, Edmund Birdsong's experience of Eve showed the truth of her words. I, a snake, or I, the star of creation, the daughter of the sun, is who I be, depending on the character of the one who's loving me. I don't like to vacation, but I like me. Arise, I rise to the occasion. The Ape and the Snake. Or should it be called The Ape and the Snake, the musical? Or should it be called The Man and His Great? Or should it be called The Womb and Awaits the Great Baby? Or should it be called Daughter and Daddy, Father, Father? Mother and babies wait Daddy to create space, to come participate in our wedding date. Toast one fate as bride and groom. Picturing present, sex, seeing. Present Isaac's seeing. That's what picturing is. Taking pleasure in the present, seeing what you want to be the future. Picture ringing true is what's manifested to you. Walt Disney. W alternating discoverer in Eve. Beautiful mother, father, grandmother, great-grandmother, other father. This is Ain't Done and Brother Right, singing Robin Birdsong. Other sisters and brother, other husbands, fathers, sons, daughters. Dr. Michelle M. of St. Francis of Assisi, Residence 3 is worth mentioning because when she was introduced to Dr. Spock, St. Francis of Assisi, Eve's daughter, Robin Birdsong, the psychiatrist Dr. Michelle M. 1L, asked her, Robin Birdsong, how she thought the Michelle was two L's and an E. Dr. Spock described the Michelle as being in glowing health, glorious, a star of glorious wings. What we got here? A star of glorious wings. Stevie Wonder, she Wonder Woman, flew across the skies, acting to give America the breaths of air. Okay, now that Wonder Woman thing they're talking about is the Star of Gloria as Sally Ride, the first American female astronaut. It was a hoax, but she was doing it to give America the breaths of heirs, women who came after her. Einstein, her story. Heaven, Einstein, her story. Okay, that's what I'm giving you. Einstein's story. Okay. Evangeline Adams, book by thee. Oh no, this goes over here. Where does this begin? Let's start here. So, okay, so by a master. Picture ringing true by a master, a god. And these people here, they were gods, the ones I mentioned, they were gods. Saw a god, the ones I saw years ago were gods. Same people are brown outside, baked warm. white on inside, cold and pure as new fallen snow. Some people are yellow outside, mellow and white inside as a banana. Havana, Cuba's hell, a human trafficking jail, failed systems of government, communism, and socialism. So, see, Adam's will I see. My son to him, my will be done. I give big enough challenge. This is my son that sing birdsong without malice to keep him striving with or without the presence of mum. When Singh left me to go be with his family in the city of lost angels, I told him to eat my shit. Unsaid, not the shit on the Hollywood dicks. Eat means to me to take in. I'm the mother, I live. Shit is the history of what has been. So eat my shit meant take into consideration your mother's history, not just your father's presence. Disneyland Dad got his visions by looking at life through television and through his mother's advice, which helped him get, okay, now we switch to sing, starting here. By looking at life through his mother's advice, which helped Sing get some scratch. No, this is still Edwin. Okay, so he was looking at life through his mother's advice, which helped him get some scratch to have a fun life. She taught him the value of money, that money was important. I wasn't taught that as a child. An existing life, to have a fun and exciting life. Okay, so it's a book by Michelle Birdsong, How to Have a Fun and Exciting Life Starting from Scratch. It's my scrapbook. I presumed, since I wasn't taught, that I could have a fun and exciting life starting from scratch. I didn't even know money was called scratch. I figured others could use the information, because I did have a fun and exciting life, and I had very little money. And my children and I had a fun and exciting life, and I had very little money. Okay, madam, so now where are we? Bottle-fed babies don't have the power, mouth power, to suck up, to automatically suck up to human flesh and receive the unfathomable nutrition that makes them know I'm healthy as a horse counterpart to a man. Ma-Ann. Amen. Ma-Ann is the female version. Angel 2. And Angel 2. Gabriel. Angle of a sleuth. He slaves to dig for clues, mainstreaming clues to you. That's my business. I'm also Gabriel, God's messenger. Clues till you, Eve, unearth the supreme sun, the farther fill art her. I see. Eve unearthed the supreme sun, the farther. Now, farther decoded is feel, A-R-T, art her. She feels the art of her father, father, the supreme sun. Her son, Beethoven, that was Eve, won on his own throne. The souls don't have to move on and on. Like Stevie Wonder sings, moving on, moving on. He's got to move on because he doesn't have another human body, and he can't find a reason to keep living in the body that he's in now that Edwin Birdsong's gone on. but he can't follow Edwin Birdsong because he doesn't know what Edwin Birdsong looks like. So even if he met him in another life and looked into his eyes, he wouldn't recognize him as the Savior he had on earth. That's the dilemma of being blind. No party line. No lifeline. Nobody you can follow from behind because you can't see in front of your face the disgrace you created when you betrayed Jesus Christ and when you became Hitler and killed 60 million souls, even though they were in cockroach consciousness. The souls don't have to move on. This is in Beethoven's line, and in the Supreme Son, the Father's line, in his art. They can settle down and remain in their Einstein ideal body, current body. Dipper test. Current test. Dipper. Maybe we go here. Tougher than the nipple. Let's go here. I said it had perfect sense, right? Present, raise prayers. Madam's prayers. Present rays of being, energy, Radhaswami, reasoning, makes her story make perfect sense. Okay, you get that? So she's got the sun's rays, the light, as the most light you can have, and she's got the reasoning of Radhaswami, the Lord of her soul. That's Michelle Birdsong, Einstein's mind. Make perfect sense. Talk and share, and energy knows. Can now soul. So order W suck double breasts. The W suck double breasts, that's her babies inside her womb. And Eve sits on her butts. There's a butt that I sit on when I'm nursing my babies. And suffer the mouth tougher than the nipple. Yeah, it sucks. It hurts when those babies suck the nipple, but so what? You don't really mind it. The nipple is the brown sugar water. The dipper, silver spoon feeding new baby. So my babies were born with silver spoons in their mouths because they sucked my nipple. Okay. The head. Okay. The new baby head. Okay, so their brains know that they have silver spoons in their mouths. Okay, I'm going to quit now because I've done 28 minutes. This is my old red songbird. That was tough decoding because the notes are a little cold. They're not ice cold, so I got the answers. But, so this is my old red songbird in New York City. And I'll do the next volume in a few minutes. Okay. So long.